Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're doing something highly focused. We're going to take a very famous statement about success, and we're going to completely deconstruct it. But we're doing it through a very specific, maybe even surprising lens: 30 years of experience in actuarial science and risk management. I know, it sounds a bit intense, right? But stick with me. It's just 15 words, but within it lies a complete, mathematically sound framework for exactly how we should be approaching our daily effort. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. I want you to just let the conceptual weight of that settle for a second. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. You see, this isn't just nice poetry, it's practically an equation. From a risk manager's perspective, this sets up a profound tension. It's the friction between speculative gambling, the act of just looking for a payout, and calculated execution, which is the act of being legitimately busy. Section 1. The paradox of success: why seeking fails. So the text inherently poses this massive, central paradox to us. Why does looking for success actually repel it? Let's look at this through the lens of risk. In risk management, keeping your eyes purely on the jackpot or the final prize creates massive, massive blind spots to your immediate daily pitfalls. If you're constantly scanning the horizon for the win, well, you aren't watching your step right in front of you. By prioritizing the search, you completely abandon the diligent, daily risk mitigation required to actually survive, let alone thrive. Moving on to Section 2, deconstructing the text, the microanalysis. Notice this opening fragment. Usually comes to. I love this. The text does not say success is caught or trapped or hunted down. It positions success as an arriving force. Through an actuarial lens, success isn't a target you hunt. It's a statistical probability. It's an outcome that approaches 100% when all the other variables and risks are properly managed. It completely removes the burden of the chase. And then we contrast that arriving force with the final clause, looking for it. Now, this is the classic speculator's mindset. Looking means you're hoping for an outcome without actually managing the variables that get you there. It's essentially unmanaged risk. Your focus is totally external, meaning your actual immediate environment, your work desk, your project, your daily process, is left completely neglected. Which brings us to the hinge on which this entire idea swings: the word busy. Now, to a seasoned actuary, being too busy doesn't mean running around the office in a panic. Not at all. It means being intensely focused on mitigating the daily risks of your craft. It means crunching the numbers and executing the process. You're doing the work. You are so thoroughly immersed in controlling what you can actually control that you literally lack the mental bandwidth to worry about the ultimate reward. Section 3. The distraction of seeking and the friction of the paradox. This sets up a profound professional analogy for us. We have a direct mapping of two totally distinct mentalities. On one side, we've got the speculator, looking for success. They're outcome-focused, they're distracted, and honestly, they're just waiting. On the other side is the risk manager, being too busy. They are process-focused, deep in the work, and actively executing. And here's the kicker: you cannot occupy both spaces simultaneously. The friction of the paradox is that obsessing over the outcome introduces totally unacceptable risk to the actual process required to achieve it. Section 4. The power of doing, resolving the paradox. So the crucial point is this: almost actuarial progression. Step 1 is absolute immersion in mitigating daily challenges, becoming too busy. This naturally triggers Step 2, dropping the distraction of the search. Because you're so immersed in the details, you literally just stop looking for the jackpot. And it's precisely the elimination of that distraction that paves the way for Step 3, the arrival of success. Focusing entirely on the action is simply the most mathematically sound driver of achievement. It just works. In 30 years of risk management, the absolute greatest truth you learn is exactly what we're talking about today. Success is never, ever a primary pursuit. It is the natural, inevitable byproduct of diligent effort and perfectly mitigated risk. When you are genuinely busy doing the work, managing the variables, and executing your craft, well, success is really just the exhaust of that excellence. It arrives exactly when you're too occupied to even notice you wanted it in the first place. Let's look at the core text one last time. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. I want you to reflect on this now through that 30-year risk management lens we've been using. It's a fundamental law of probability and focus. True achievements are rarely won by nervously scanning the horizon for them. They are won by quietly doing the meticulous, daily work that limits failure and by mathematical necessity practically invites success right through the front door. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly provocative question to challenge your own mindset. I want you to look at your own daily pursuits. Ask yourself right now, honestly, are you working or are you just looking? Stop calculating the payout and start managing the work. Thanks for diving into this explainer with me. Catch you next time.